was that curtain call like for you, and just hearing the fans kind of chant your name in that 7th inning?
Yeah, it was definitely very special. I've never, had a curtain call or anything like that, but our fans were bringing it all night long. When I walked out at 6:30 tonight, or I think 6:25, they were chanting and, the Let's Go Rangers, and I knew it was going to be a really good night for us. Again, 2016, I think, was the last time we had a postseason game here, and, they brought the energy tonight, and we fed off that for sure, but it was definitely a very special moment for me. Very thankful.
Nate, do you officially feel like you did in the first half before you got hurt?
Yeah, I do. I think it was after the last start that we had here against Seattle. I made a mechanical adjustment, and it felt so much better right away when I made that adjustment, and then it was kind of going from there. I know the start that I had in Seattle wasn't as, the results weren't what I wanted, but I felt really good there. And then I was able to take that to Tampa and then that one to here, and I've been feeling really good with my mechanics. The pitches that I'm able to execute, it feels a lot easier for me to execute those pitches. And tonight I felt like Jonah did a great job calling the game. And again, I felt like the splitter was working right away. And when I have that pitch working from the first inning to the last, it makes it a lot easier for me to go out there and execute my pitches. And the curveball wasn't as efficient as I wanted it to be tonight, but we were able, once we scored the two runs, I think, in the second inning, and then the other 4 in the third, it was. For me, my job was to go out there and attack the hitters as much as possible and get as fast as outs.
And did that also, in that adjustment, did that also help your velocity? Because it seemed like in that start in Seattle, you were throwing much harder than you had before.
Yeah, I do. I felt like it just allows a cleaner path for me to go towards the plate, and I can throw it harder. And, I'm not trying to overpower guys by any means. I'm trying to make sure that I can locate and mix up my pitches.
Pre-game, we talked to Corey and a little bit to Boch about how when they came here, CY kind of laid out a plan for them. And when you signed here this winter, what was that meeting like, I guess, with CY in the front office and the plan, I guess, they laid out for you and how, it seems like it's coming to fruition right now?
Yeah, CY and I had talked before the DeGrom and Heaney signing, and I thought it went great. And he had just mentioned about how successful we were hitting-wise, and asked me about my opinions on the pitching staff. And to me, pitching wins championships. You've seen it kind of across the league. Good pitching is able to neutralize a really good lineup. And I feel like that's what we've been able to do here lately with the addition of, Scherzer and Montgomery, Stratton in the bullpen. Our bullpen's been great. I knew myself coming in. Heaney's been throwing the ball really good as well. Adding those additions, you can never have enough starting pitching. I think Dane's resurgence this year, he's been great all year, or even in the past, but more so this year, I feel like, especially with the DeGrom going down and going, moving forward. Again, pitching, you can never have enough good starting pitching, and I feel like that's been some of our big reason for our success.
Nathan, not only did you have the fans chanting Eovaldi, but your teammates were chanting Evo and drenched you pretty good there. What does that feel like to have both the fans and your teammates to be chant your name?
It's definitely very special. These are the moments that you play for as an athlete. I love pitching in these big moments, and I feel like I'm a big competitor, and that competitive definitely comes out. And I enjoy having these big games that are the big deciding games on the line, whether we're down 0-2 or we're up 2-0. Definitely very thankful, and it's from the very beginning of the season, we set a plan. We came in here as one. That was the message from spring training, and we're here now. I think everybody was able to buy in, and you see how well we've been able to play right now going on into the postseason, and we just got to make sure we keep building that momentum.
Hey Nate, can you elaborate a little bit more about that mechanical adjustment and what exactly it was, and how exactly did you come to it? Was it your own thing, a pitching coach, or?
It's kind of tough to explain what mechanical adjustment it was. I had looked back at old video of when I was throwing harder and everything was clicking, and I thought it was a big mechanical adjustment that stood out, which made it a little easier for me to go in and switch. It was more so of kind of rotating a little bit more at the top with my knee. I felt like I was bringing it up just kind of straight before. Now I'm trying to bring it back a little bit more towards my back shoulder, and I feel like it gives me a little bit more time to, again, gather the power and deliver it towards the plate.
Nathan, can you talk about this team making it to the ALCS, the first time since 2011? After all the lean years that this franchise has been going through lately, what does it feel like to you guys?
I mean, it feels amazing. Again, that was our plan from spring training on. You can set everybody's plan in spring training is to win the World Series, but you have to plant that seed for everybody to start to believe in it. I felt like we had the right veteran guys to start to do that. We had the offense for sure. We added the right starting pitching. Bullpen was, I thought, great last year. It was just they were overused, and we've got those guys that are back in here now. And there's a lot of success that comes from a losing season, and those guys gain experience from it. And now they're here now in big moments. At the beginning of the season, we started out with the Phillies, and we were able to do really well. And I think that builds confidence. I think we started to surprise ourselves of how well we were doing, the pitching staff, the offense. I feel like the offense has set the tone all year long. And, right now at this moment, starting pitching has been really good, and the bullpen's been outstanding. They've been able to come in really big situations and limit the damage. And, it's making it easier for the offense to go out there and do their job.
The Orioles pitchers seem to have a hard time putting your team's hitters away. Just how important is that to an offense, just to not give up in any at bat and be able to come through in those sorts of situations specifically?
Yeah. For me, when I'm out there and I'm pitching, I try to get as fast of outs as possible so I can get my offense back into the dugout. And the faster I can get them back into the dugout, I believe they'll have more success at their at bats. I feel like our guys have been doing an extremely good job of seeing a lot of pitches. Nate had, a 15-pitch at-bat today. It didn't end in a good result. He ended up getting out, but it was still a really good at-bat. He used 15 pitches, and then he ended up hitting a home run later in the game. The more pitches that the batters are able to see, the better success that they're going to have. For me, I try not to throw more than 4 to 5 pitches to a batter. If I'm able to do that, I feel like I'm going to be able to last longer in the game and go out there and have better success.